Soul Not for Sale. This is episode 459. We're getting up there. And as always, Brian Rose, you do not own this video, nor do you own the clips. It's a clip from Blaze TV, which you do not own. It's a clip from another YouTube channel that you do not own. So stop looking at my channel and figuring out what you own. You don't own anything here. And me as well. You don't own anything that I say. Okay? Just making it clear. You just stop. Anyway, let's get right into it. Who will free Julian Assange? Who will free him? Who will pardon him? You're going to hear a clip of DeSantis sitting down with Tucker Carlson, where Tucker asks the question, would you pardon Julian Assange? And then you're going to hear RFK's response to the same question. Not given by Tucker Carlson, but given by an interviewer nonetheless. To hear the difference in both of these answers it kind of illustrates why RFK is in the position that he's in. Although he's an elite, although he comes from a family of politicians, does not really give a political answer, in my opinion. And DeSantis, well, you'll be able to see that in a second. Now, of course, before I have to bring you to that clip, I have to bring you to something else that Brian Rose does not own. Okay, this is IamCoachColin.com. If you want to get the latest addition to IamCoachColin.com, you can hit up America's Soul Not for Sale, and you will see that we have t-shirts for men and women, tank tops for men and women, and a hoodie. But of what, you ask? Well, check it out. Boom, the latest design is the Soul Not for Sale design with the stars and stripes, the red, white, and blue atop of it, because July, in my opinion, is the real Pride Month. Pride in your country. Now, if you want 10% off, all you have to do in the discount code area is put in I am Coach Colin. That is it. One word, all capital letters, and one L on the Colin gets you 10% off. All right. And if you're someone who's already purchased something off the site, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I assure you, Brian Rose from London Real will not be taking that money. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get into the clip. Now here is DeSantis. He's been asked the question, will he pardon Julian Assange? Let's get it.
My goal is to end the weaponization of government. And that involves firing people. It involves taking parts of the DOJ and putting them in other states. Iowa, if you guys want a part of the DOJ, I'll send it out here, send it to Alabama, wherever. And we're going to do that. We're going to take power out of Washington. But part of what you need to do, if you have a two-tiered system of justice, you need to make sure if there's some people that got away that shouldn't have, they need to face the music. And if there are other people that are getting targeted through abuse of government, then there needs to be use of the pardon power. So the day after the election, we're going to open up an ability for people to submit applications, ask for the pardon based on whether they were treated dissimilarly or whether the government mobilized against them. And so we're going to do it the front end of the administration. I'm not going to wait till my last day in office. Do it the front end. And if people are doing that, and that's part of ensuring a single standard of justice, we will be willing to use the pardon power. It's going to be done on a case-by-case basis because I'm a governor, and I've actually had to look at these things, and you owe it to everybody to do that. But we will be issuing pardons, and that'll be determined based on the facts and circumstances at the time.
We know that the U.S. government reads the private communications of American citizens by the tens of millions without a warrant. And everyone knows this. It's been.
Now, I'll probably play a little bit more of that in a second, but that was his answer. Now, Tucker didn't give him a roundabout answer or a roundabout question. Tucker just said, would you pardon Assange? Now, for your viewing pleasure, I made sure to cut out the 2 minutes almost of him not addressing the question at all and more talking about the pandemic and how, we have to make sure things like that never happen again. And it was an overreach and things that are all true, and, you don't want that to happen again. It was terrible, but doesn't answer the question, then moves on, then answers the question in a way of not answering the question. He's basically saying it's going to be a case-by-case type of thing, but, it would be pretty hard to convince anyone, I think, that Ron doesn't know the situation with Julian Assange. They're like, he doesn't know who he is. I don't know. You already know this case, which is why Tucker just asked the question. It's interesting that he just didn't say yes or no. You'd figure that, and you see, this is the thing, because I don't go in for the whole, this guy's funded by Soros and Trojan horse, and I don't go in for that, because you can say that about any candidate, really. But when I see an answer like that, I kind of get how people could feel that way, because that was a very, if you are some kind of Trojan horse, then you're definitely not going to pardon Julian Assange. You're just not going to. That's just my opinion. If you are someone who is being funded by powers that be, the shadow people behind the scenes that we can't see, then yeah, you're not going to do anything like that, because it would go against what they want. Because what Julian did was expose war crimes. He's exposed the U.S. For committing war crimes years ago. And he has gone through hell. And right now, he's actually dangerously close to being extradited. There's actually an article here that I just read. He's actually very close. Right now, they are trying to get him. He's facing 175 years, apparently. I did not know that. Yeah, it's because he just provided evidence that the U.S. committed some war crimes. Not surprising. I mean, I will say every nation probably has. I mean, at some point, if you go far back enough, everybody was barbaric. Yeah. I love this article because this article says Joe Biden, look at this, Joe Biden is continuing Donald Trump's prosecution of Assange. So it's like, yeah, don't blame Biden. He's just continuing what Donald Trump did. Like, get out of here. So silly, these articles. Here, now you can see it. Ridiculous. But let's go on to what RFK had to say about this. Let's see if he gives the same kind of roundabout answer. Let's check it out.
Pardon Assange immediately, because he's a newspaper publisher, and it is crazy. It's crazy what they're trying to do to him. It's completely anti-American. I would pardon Snowden, because what Snowden did for the American people was to, help restore at least some semblance of democracy, and the importance of the information he released was attested to by the fact that Congress passed legislation recognizing the disclosures that he had, and making sure that to try to make sure that those kind of abuses didn't occur again. So I think he is a hero, he shouldn't be treated as a villain. I would pardon Assange immediately, because
again, like I said, it comes from a family of politicians, but really did not have he didn't kind of beat around the bush. I would do that immediately. Done. Makes sense to me. You would do that immediately, because you already know the situation. No one has to explain the situation to you. I'm just going to go here again. I'm not one of these people who claims to be a body language expert, but I can tell when somebody has something super prepared. Okay? And now I don't know how you could prepare this. I guess you just have to prepare for all questions. I feel like Tucker wouldn't prepare you for what he's going to ask unless he was friendly with you, which he is with DeSantis, but I still feel like Tucker just wouldn't do that. I think he would want to have you a little off guard. I think that was the setup that they had going on, which is why Mike Pence got slaughtered the way he did. Let's check out just how he ended that real quick.
Actually had to look at these things, and you owe it to everybody to do that. But we will be issuing pardons, and that'll be determined based on the facts and circumstances at the time.
See how quickly you just gonna put it down? I don't know. I've had a lot of people come to me saying Trojan horse, because, there was a time where I really did like him. I liked him more than RFK at one point, but RFK's proved himself to be just a great leader, deserving leader. But yeah, again, I don't get it. Like, why wouldn't you pardon this guy? Like RFK said, he's just publishing. He's basically a newspaper publisher. Obviously, WikiLeaks is something that's online, so he's not that. But he basically did something that like James O'Keefe does almost every day of the week, except he did it to the, highest thing you could do it to, which was the U.S. government. And it was some really damning stuff that he exposed. But of course, you would want to pardon someone like that because all they did was just show the truth. I don't know, especially in a conversation, because this little part of the conversation is about censorship. So I don't know. That face right there. You guys see that face right there? I don't know now. I don't know. I wasn't on the side of people saying this whole Trojan horse thing. Now I'm thinking about it. My buddy keeps telling me he's funded by Soros, and I'm like, I need proof of that before I just believe it. I haven't really seen any proof, but definitely answering like somebody who is, I don't want to say in cahoots. I wouldn't say that, but yeah, it seems like he has some backers that wouldn't approve that. And he's trying to just kind of give this blanket of, yeah, we're going to pardon people. But it's like, imagine this. Well, this is exactly what happened. Tucker goes, are you going to pardon this person? And he goes, yeah, we're going to pardon some people. It's going to be case by case, and, we'll see. It's like, but that didn't answer my question at all. I asked about this person, and you're telling me that you're going to pardon people. Well, is he one of the people? I don't get it. If you plan on being president, you have to kind of commit to some things. That's what also makes me touch on this whole Trojan horse thing. I'm not sure. I'll be 100%. Let's play a little bit more of the clip, I guess. Let's go.
We know that the U.S. government reads the private communications of American citizens by the tens of millions without a warrant. And everyone knows this. It's been revealed. They've admitted it. And no one has moved to stop it. Do you think that there's a good reason to allow this? How can that be?
No. I mean, I think the federal government has a responsibility to protect us from foreign threats. We're going to have intelligence capabilities overseas, but to turn those on our own citizens, especially with this government's behavior, is totally untenable. I am going to go in and declassify or put as much stuff out as I can. I think that you guys have a right to know things that happened 60, 70 years ago that the government's kept under wraps. Now, obviously...
What?
Obviously, if things that are more recent, if there's stuff, I mean, you have to make those judgments. But my default is going to be that they're going to have a high burden to justify why it shouldn't be public for some of these main things that we all talk about that have occurred in the past, because the government uses classification as a way to evade accountability for itself. I think there is a legitimate use of classified information, but it's like what should be classified and what actually is like so much more. And so it's all about protecting their power. But it's a huge, huge problem in how they've conducted this. And to turn the government on the American people, that's the founding fathers' worst nightmare.
So let me just end with a shallow question based on speculation. Do you think Biden will be the Democratic nominee?
Honestly, I go back and forth because as an incumbent president, unless he's willing to step aside, I don't think they can get him out of there. On the other hand, I'm fully prepared to have a Florida-California showdown and let the people choose what's the better vision for the United States of America, because I'm very confident that the freedom in Florida is what more people would choose rather than the public defecation on the streets of San Francisco.
Funny. But yeah. Very, very prepared, very politician-like. I don't know. But that last part of the answer, kind of, I don't know. He's saying that he's going to unclassify as much as he can. But then at the same time, it's like if Biden can classify all of the Kennedy assassination documents, like you can unclassify all of those. So it's just funny that he won't actually speak on what he will do. It's just kind of these blanket statements of like, yeah, we're going to do some of that as much as we can. It's like, are you going to be the president or are you going to be the vice president? Like, whoa, like, are you stepping into the actual position? Like, which thing are you going for? Because you should just be able to do it. It's like he already knows there's some things he's not going to be able to do. And And again, I don't want to get in that, but it's almost like, he already knows that he'll have to check with somebody if he can do the things he wants to do. Little iffy to me, but he seems like a great guy. At the end of the day, I don't know. Might be a Trojan horse. That's how Trojan horses work, right? They're supposed to look amazing, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of people with spears jump out, and they just start, just wrecking the city, wrecking the castle. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Brian Rose, stay out of the comments. We don't want you here, okay? Just your whole staff, even though there's no staff anymore for sure. It's just you inside a room just posting random videos. Just stay out of my comment section, please. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think of DeSantis, and what did you think of RFK's answer? I gotta be honest, love RFK. Love RFK Jr. I think he's great. I see him, beating DeSantis. I see him beating Vivek, although Vivek's almost like a young RFK Jr. He's great. He's like a Brown Kennedy, like straight up. He's fantastic. But again, you know what I want to see. I want to see RFK versus Trump. Let the best man win. It'll be good for the country either way. Anyway, like the video. It helps us so much. Boosts us out of the shadow realm. Thank you so much for watching. Soul not for sale. Other than that, I am out.